therefore they were able to sort of put the government under the pressure to review this case. So we're looking to see if that level of pressure comes back. I do highly doubt that it will, because there has been a crackdown by the army on them. So I feel that yes, it should be the end of the story. This woman deserves justice. She has been wronged by all systems in Pakistan, and it's just not humane what she's gone through. And so her family is already out of here. I feel that the best thing that could happen is for her to now, this appeal has come in her favor. She should look to relocate with her family and be safe. And my family is there, and we pray for her.
Well, perhaps her part in this story is coming to an end, but the divisions in Pakistani society, which cost your family so much, how can those be ended?
People tell me, oh, education does a lot, and some of the sad part that I come across is that a lot of these hardline extremists are very well educated. So it's a point of view, it's a narrative, and they're playing on it, and these things can come to an end eventually in Pakistan if I think all political parties, if all the relevant players in the country get onto one page regarding this issue. Often this issue is used for politics as often as possible, and these are the reasons, these are the ways that these stories and these endless traumas that have taken place, and so many more. My family is just one of them, and these are one of the stories that you're able to hear. There are thousands of stories of people who are affected, whose families you don't hear of. And this can only end if all players in the country get onto one page. They understand our common enemy is terrorism. They understand our common enemy is bigotry, and they take it down with a thwarting effect. And one saw it a little bit. If you saw this Khadim Rizvi lot came out, and they really went for the current government and the judiciary and the army. And when they accused the army of all sorts of labels they threw at the army came out and thwarted them. So, when they spoke badly of the army thwarted them. When they speak badly of politicians or judges, the army should thwart them there as well. So unless all players get onto one page, this enemy will keep raining terror.
Does the fact that there seems to be some kind of a deal coming in Afghanistan, and that's clearly linked to the attitude of the Pakistani government, which has supported the Taliban, is that reducing tension in Pakistan?
Yes, it is, and hopefully it will do a lot more than that. One saw that there was a peace jirga that went across to Swat just recently, and in South Waziristan recently, and they did an excavation of the area, and they sort of looked around and saw different systems that have been put into place to sort of start civilian growth again in those areas. And so I feel these are the sort of efforts that will keep uplifting Pakistan, which will keep uplifting a liberal and anti-terror mind frame in Pakistan. And one can see the results have already started coming in. I'll tell you a small story. I was telling someone yesterday. When my father originally was assassinated, fear spread everywhere. And what were millions of people, they didn't have, they used to come out in a few hundreds and a few thousands when we used to hold a candlelight vigil for him. And then those numbers increased every year as the fear subsided. And that is the beauty of it. Fear only lasts a little bit of time, and I feel it has subsided in Pakistan. I feel the citizens of Pakistan are very clear. They know what they want. They know that they don't want these guys in power, which is why these guys have been thwarted in every election. If you just see the results, they were just destroyed across the board. And so people of Pakistan know what they want. They want religion to play a role in their lives, but they don't want it to play the dominant role in their lives. It can't play, it can't take over their lives. And I think people are coming to that realization across all frames of society. And I think that this issue, one will start seeing a lot more maturity coming out of Pakistani media, of Pakistani politicians, of hopefully the army as well. And one will find a lot more unified view going across the world now.
Shera Taseer, thank you on what may be a more hopeful day for Pakistan. You're listening to World Updates. Well, according to Transparency International, who's just published their annual global barometer of corruption, more than half of the countries in the world are failing to control it. They use a scale of 0 to 100. 0 is highly corrupt, 100 is clean. 2/3 of all 180 countries surveyed rate at 43 on that scale. The chair of Transparency International is Dalia Ferreira-Rubio.
The most corrupt countries this year in the CPI are Somalia, South Sudan, and Syria.
And those are places where there is civil conflict or at least unrest. So I suppose that's not good news, but it's not that much of a surprise. Are there countries in the list that seem so obviously to be at a point where they could improve the level of corruption, but they're not?
Well, all countries should improve the fight against corruption. But what we see as a general trend is that there is an stagnation in the fight against corruption. So many countries are still down the middle of the scale. And the global average is 43 in a scale that goes from 0, highly corrupt, to 100, very clean. So 2/3 of the countries down 50 is a worrying thing.
You've highlighted some countries that need to be closely observed. And on that list, the United States of America. What do you mean?
The fact with the United States is that for the first time, they are not in the 20 best performing countries, and they have lost 4 points this year, according to our index. This is a reflection of what is going on in terms of the strength of democratic institutions there. We are seeing very strong conflicts of interest in public sector. We are also seeing harassment or attacks on free press, and also the intent to capture or curtail the role of watchdog institutions there. So these are trends that are really worrying, and in a way they reflect what is going on in terms of the index of corruption perception.
But how much is that perception and how much of it is reality? Talking still about the United States of America, when you say attacks on a free press, you mean that, for example, Donald Trump tweets fake news when a newspaper or a news organization reports something that he doesn't like. But he's never going to silence the free press in the US, is he?
Well, because the institutions are weak enough to defend or to protect rule of law and the basic principles of democracy. But what we see as a trend in general is that populist leaders are trying to curtail the capacity of citizens to react against corruption or to expose corruption and fight effectively against corruption. That's and in terms of perception, this is a perception index. We are not surveying concrete cases in courts or money laundering cases or things like that.
Dalia Ferreira-Rubio from Transparency International. This is the BBC. Coming up later in our programme, President Trump was due to deliver his State of the Union speech this evening. Well, of course, that's been postponed because of the government shutdown. That did end last week, but the president might not be giving his assessment of the first 2 years in the White House. We will, though, hear the thoughts of voters in New Hampshire.
Love him. Love Donald Trump. He's to the point. He doesn't beat around the bush. He's right to the point and says it the way it is.
I hate him. He's an awful president. That's how the last 2 years have gone awful, I think. He's terrible. He's not a president. He's not a leader.
More on that coming soon. Our headlines at the moment. China's accused the United States of trying to smear and suppress Chinese companies after the US filed a series of charges against the technology firm Huawei. And Pakistan's Supreme Court has rejected the final challenge to its decision to end the blasphemy conviction of a Christian woman, Asia Bibi. Those are the headlines. This is the BBC. This is Dan Damon in London. North Korea has recently been named
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380 615. Or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires. Safe when new, safe when partly worn.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Baby Sa Charlie.
Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships, and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM12 4AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
Charlie, come me try cash no. The way me who man me suspect so me ato. Me pacho send you ntem why na e was na kiko to draw pharmacy obrem sisi a. Mo saka we from why? Na we dey Charlie ya wapa o.
Kobrani, if I join your message.
Oh, come me go so try call no. Charlie, my yes rough from back why?
Hey Joe, me send come messages no why. Nyabu trema me, no pressure. Me chat to direct amount here. So mobile money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. Anyo, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say what me do MoneyGram. Oh, mobile money wallet mo Ghana ha. Zpay and a tire tree. MoneyGram bringing you closer. Service way. We now MoneyGram agent biao.
If you've had an accident in the last 3 years, that was not your fault. Get in touch with London Accident Claims Limited. It could be a motor accident or a workplace injury. You could be entitled to compensation. Just one call to our specialist team will take care of everything. For minicab drivers with PCOs, there is even better news. We provide you with a replacement vehicle. Call us on 0800 032 6798 or 0208 665 7667 to start your claims with London Accident Claims Limited. London Accident Claims Limited, a partner you can trust.
I know. So improve but degree. Okay, what about so but degree? No one you secret your fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and now masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be bremu. UK degree and masters fully sponsored. Tie UK abai ebetimi amal up to £21,000 every year. Now what they are school fees about degree. So how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. So British passport. Indefinite. And now EU passport. 18 and now 55 years. When super to me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from say we up to £21,000, no. Abai betria wo school fees ni ade nyina ma wo. Any for 079 04 79 3019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nyesika nefetria wo fees. But degree.
All I can see. Sometimes.
The IWFT team presents Footprints on Starr Radio UK with your host Oscar Bimpong every Thursday at 7 p.m. Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
Are you planning to get onto the property ladder? Are you thinking of getting into the property business? Do you live in a council flat? Do you live in a house and flat or house? Then join us this and every Thursday on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, 9 p.m. this and every Thursday, where we speak to the experts in the industry, the professionals in the property industry, where they show us and talk about the secrets in the property industry. It's booming. You can't afford to miss it. And also, you will learn how to start or get your first property without your own money. Join us and spread the news.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Programme brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Programme this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses. Voices of Esther brings you Bed of Roses this and every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Join our panel of experts to discuss issues within your relationships. Hosted by Doreen, you will be motivated and equipped to handle issues within your relationships. Remember, it is Saturday at 9:30 p.m. GMT. Don't miss it.
I'll lay you down, on a bed of roses.
Listen to Regina Abban and Lady Caroline every Monday from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Point at Starr Radio UK, where we educate the youth and young adults on life issues.
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380 615. Or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires. Safe when new, safe when partly worn.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedisa Charlie.
Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships, and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM12 4AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
Chale komi me try cash no the way me hu man me suspect so medin atro me pa chow send you ntem why na e was na akiko to draw pharmacy obrem sisi a we saka we from why na we dey chale ya wapa o
Kwabrani if I join your message.
Oh komi me go so try call no chale my yes rough from back why
Hey Joe, me send come messages no why. Nyabutrema me no pressure. Me chat to direct amount here. So mobile money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. And you MoneyGram to mobile money. Say what me do MoneyGram. Oh mobile money wallet mo Ghana ha. ZPay and a territory. MoneyGram bringing you closer. Service way. We be now MoneyGram agent biao.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile. If you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you're listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show. morning and welcome to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, it is what? 29th of January 2019. Welcome you to the greatest program in the whole wide world, the Starr Radio UK Morning Show. Of course, with me, the one and only Archie here. I'm going to be joined by my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Frank Davis and Mr. OLAYOMI. But wherever it is, wherever you are and wherever you are, I just want you to continue to stay tuned to listen to us this morning. But if you are watching us live on Facebook, share the page with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. On Periscope, YouTube, and all the other smart means of listening to us, share the links with them. But let me say good morning to no other one than Mr. Dante B, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. For the Prime Minister, is she going to meet at Waterloo or face at Waterloo today? That is saying that once beaten, twice shy. What is it going to be? This evening or tonight? Well. Are we Brexiting? Are we exiting? Or are we remaining? Is it going to be a people's vote? Well, this and a lot more we'll be talking about during the course of the program. Well, let me say good morning to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi. And to my executive producer himself, Mr. Malik Dramani Mahama. Hey, the one and only Mr. Oscar Bimpong. You'll be coming this week, Thursday. That's tomorrow next week, the Footprint program exactly at 7 o'clock. Of course, if you don't feel enthused or you are not motivated, my goodness, look no further but just listen to the program on Thursday when it brings you the Footprint program. And I'm saying massive good morning to Mr. Eric Nanesiedu Martin, aka Dr. Martin. And he's saying today I'm not just listening, I'm watching as well. Oh my word, then today there's going to be lots of trouble in the on the airwaves. Dr. Martin. Well, when it comes to Ghana, somebody who has been accused of maybe being in, I don't know, Dr. Martin will tell you that you use the right terms. Whether he aided or he abetted, or insinuated, or called for the beating or the abuse of somebody, whatever the situation is, he said I promised 100,000 K to find who the perpetrator of Ahmed Suare is. That is Canadian Japan. And the family say, come on, take your money. Well. The trouble still continues. But when it comes to Nigeria, oh my world, after the dismissal of the CJN, that the Chief Justice of Nigeria, or the suspension of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, and the accusation of the West that the presidency or the president of Nigeria or the government have deliberately moved the CJN from there so that they will be able to rig the elections. Like I said the other time when we spoke last Friday to the spokesperson of the PDP, he was of the view that if the president has plans to, take off the or suspend the CJN, then they don't think that there's going to be any credible elections. But you want to know more on the ground and any other issue that is happening in the world, please stay tuned. Because this is Star Radio UK. Let me say good morning to my person, Sir Brother HB, wherever you are. Massive good morning to you. To Auntie Mary, Mrs. Mary Bruce, Mom, I hope you are feeling better. Good morning to you. Hey, Mr. Dantabri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, massive good morning. The Hammers, the Betwells, wherever you are across the globe, we salute you. And let me say a special good morning also to Mr. Dave West, who came your way with the conscious reggae last night till this dawn. Oh, Mr. Dave West, good morning to you. I call him HRH, king of the airwaves. Okay, now it's 10:42 from the House of London. And it is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Well, I can tell you that surely, without a shadow of a doubt, there's got lots happening in the world today. And I'm going to make sure I disseminate that information to you wherever you are. So all that you have to do is to stay tuned. Don't touch the door. Continue to listen to us. And when you have anything to share, please call in. You can tweet at us, or you can Facebook. Send a message on the Facebook or wherever you want to do. And share your take with us. Well, the banter still goes on in Venezuela. Maybe if you win an election and the West don't support you, then you know that you've not won the election. Or if you have the West supporting you, whether you lost or not, then you are going to be the candidate or the president-elect. That seems to be what is happening. That is where they are looking at their own personal interest. Let me say good morning to Pastor Regina Urban as well, to Lady Caroline, Ife, to my lovely wife Lottie, wherever you are. Massive good morning to you. To my brother Kwame, good morning. Captain One himself, Captain Felix Tete, wherever you are, good morning to you. My brother Felix all the way in Aberdeenshire, good morning, gentlemen. I hope you are chilling out. Okay, so by way of program outline, I'll be bringing you the coach for the day, the weather forecast, and the travel update. But let's move on straight. Be passionate about... Oh, sorry. Dr. Martin said I should put on my glasses. Doc, I'm putting on my glasses now. I can see clearly now. Now, he says being passionate about whatever you do and caring intensely about your work is the name of the guy. Being passionate about whatever you do and caring intensely about your work is the name of the game. Well, so are you passionate enough with whatever thing that you are doing? If not, my goodness, please think and think again. And make sure that you have that passion in whatever thing that you are doing. And I can show you that if you have that, no matter the hurdles or the obstacles that are thrown your way, you'll be able to succumb or you to overcome it. The troubles will succumb to you. Okay, so for the weather forecast, let's see what is happening on the front. Now it says cold and cloudy this afternoon with the odd shower before more general rain and sleet approaches from the west later on. And then tonight, rain will become heavier this evening, turning to sleet or snow in places before moving away eastward overnight, turning frosty with the risk of ice. So maybe that snow that they promised might not be coming. I think it's now moved to Thursday. And total temperatures going to be 7 degrees and lower is going to be -1. UV level is going to be low and pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset is going to be at 16:44 and sunrise for tomorrow morning is going to be 07:44 hours. Well, it is the end of the weather forecast for you today, Tuesday, the 29th day of January 2019. Bringing the time now to 10:46. And I'll be whisking you straight to the travel update. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Quick commercial break and I'll come your way with the travel update. Stay tuned. If you've had an accident in the last 3 years, that was not your fault. Get in touch with London Accident Claims Limited. It could be a motor accident or a workplace injury. You could be entitled to compensation. Just one call to our specialist team will take care of everything. For minicab drivers with PCOs, there is even better news. We provide you with a replacement vehicle. Call us on 0800-032-6798 or 0208-665-7667 to start your claims with London Accident Claims Limited. London Accident Claims Limited, a partner you can trust.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road. Keep your eyes on the road.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, so we keep you navigated. I promise our bond. The Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way from 10:45 each day. It's now 10:47 from the heart of London. Now, on the underground this morning, there seems to be good service throughout. So, Becklow Central Circle District, Hammersmith and City, Jubilee Metropolitan, Northern, Piccadilly, Victoria, Waterloo and City lines are in good service. London Overground, good service. CFL Rail, good service. DLR, good service. London Tramlink, good service. Now, the river bars, apart from the Woolwich Ferry, all the others are working in good service. RB1, RB1X, RB2, RB4, RB5, RB6. Yes, good service. Now let's go to the National Rail. Let me tell you what is happening there. East Midlands have got minor delays. That's East Midland trains and the Great Western Railway Special Service, Northern Rail Special Service, Southeastern Special Service, and Southern Special Service as well. If you can avoid them, avoid them. If you are stuck in there, continue to listen to us on Starr Radio UK, because we'll keep you updated as and when there are any changes. But you know what? Keep your eyes on the road. Okay, now let's go to the major roads in London when we bring the program, the update to a close. Now, on the major roads in London, A41 has got closures, Central London Red Roads closures, North Circular A406 have got closures there as well, South Circular A205 closures, A2, there are serious delays there, Blackwater now, serious delays. You don't want to be caught in those places, so check before you leave. If not, if you are stuck in there, continue to listen to us on Starr Radio UK. But if you're driving, walking, riding, whatever you're doing, on the pavement, wherever you are, we want to say good morning to you. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Keep these eyes on the road. You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380 615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
Charlie, Kobe, me try cash no. The way me hune man me suspect so Benjamin ato. Me pa cho send on ntem why na e was na kiko to draw pharmacy obrem sisi a. Wo saka we from why. Na we dey Charlie ya wapa o. Oh, Kobe, me go so try call no. Charlie, my yes rough from back why?
Hey Joe, me start count messages no why. Nyabu trema me, no pressure. Me chat to direct amount here. So mobile money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. Anio, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say utumi ju MoneyGram. Mobile money wallet mu Ghana ha. ZPay and a tayetri. MoneyGram, bringing you closer. Service way. Ubenya MoneyGram agent biao.
Archie on Star Radio UK. Nobody does it better. Welcome back to the program. This is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London on this Tuesday morning here in London. The time now, 10:51. Exactly at 11 o'clock, I'll be having Miss OLAYOMI who will be joining us to bring us updates from Nigeria. But then, before that comes on, let me just tell you what is happening here in the UK. A brief headline from there, and then we'll move on to some lovely music before OLAYOMI steps or, yes, joins us. Now, MPs are to vote on Brexit deal amendments. Now, the proposed changes to Theresa May's deal could shape the next stage of negotiation with the EU. And what is it going to be? The backstop? The fact that the European Union are just sticking to their guns and saying that, look, we're not going to be negotiating because we don't see anything there that needs to be negotiated. And the fact that politicians are also calling the Prime Minister to take off from the table a no-deal scenario, actually, which some of us are thinking that it weakens the hands of the Prime Minister, because for her to go and renegotiate anything, if they know that, look, when I can call it a bluff and tell you that, okay, well, this is what I want to do, then if you are not going to budge, then this is what I will do. Now they're trying to take that card off her. That is a no deal. But well, what do you think about all that that's going to happen? Do you think that she's going to face another bruising time in Parliament, where most of her amendments will just be like shut down? Well, we'll be following all that. And a no deal redeployment for defense staff. A memo seen by the BBC 6 volunteers to help the government cope in a no-deal Brexit scenario. Why do we want to put ourselves in such a situation? Now, can you just remember when we just we had this financial crisis, like call it 10 years on, and now before we seem to be resurfacing and trying to have a bit of a breather there, and then the next moment, call it in a year or a few months time, we just jump into another beast, finding ourselves in such situation again. Why do we want to do that? That's what some people are calling that. That should be a people's vote. After all, if the people vote again and we decide, yeah, I think the first time we got it wrong, so this time round, knowing what we know, this is what we want to do, maybe that will help us. But others are saying that whatever the situation is, no, but going back for another referendum will divide the nation. So we should just stick to it, the decision that was made. But, you know, I've been an advocate for this, that if you give me false information, told me that, look, if I buy this medicine, it's a panacea to all my problems, and I went in to buy the medicine. And buying it, I thought, now having time to read the label and everything on it, and I'm thinking, really? Is that what it's going to do? Is that going to be the side effects and stuff like that? And I decide I don't want it. The people are saying that, look, whether you like it or not, because you bought it, you have to take it. I don't think that is the right cause. But well, these are all things I will be talking about today. Whatever the situation is, I want you to add your voice to the discussion. What do you think? We have Tesco that is saying that, like, they're going to be cutting jobs. Now, even when jobs have not been cut, when people are still in employment, people are crying. Now, talk less when people are out of job. Well, some people say that, look, in this part of the world, they actually, let me put it in the Ghanaian way, they cut their own money. Not print. They cut their own money. So if they think that, look, we need to make sure the economy up, they can just cut some billions in it and just show it up. Because I'm thinking that if many people now are out of job, then that means the government has to make sure that social welfare takes care of these people. Now, how is that going to be? Can you just imagine all this, what do you call it, the utility services, the mortgages and everything? Certainly something bad is going to be happening. But well, I don't want to be a prophet of doom, and therefore, well, it would be nice to hear what other people say about this situation. But vaccines gig acts over barrier collapse, and then rail user satisfaction at the 10-year low. Now, those of us who use the rails from time to time, those who use it constantly, they will tell you that, look, the rate keeps on going up, the services keep on coming down, yet every time the rates are high. And you ask yourself, for what? That's why some people think that if Jeremy Corbyn is saying that it needs to be nationalized so that we are not profit-oriented, that just looking at making sure that we provide a service, that may be something that we need to do. What do you think about all that? Those are all news that is making the rounds in the UK. Strain and ice begin to disrupt travel. Constant sore throat can be cancer sign. And that's one of the issues or the news that I'll be picking up. Now, GPs with patients who have a persistent sore throat combined with shortness of breath, trouble swallowing, or earache should consider cancer as the cause, according to a new research. Now, currently, it is recommended patients with persistent hoarseness or an unexplained neck lump are investigated for throat or laryngeal cancer. However, Cancer Research UK, Wen Wu said patients should not be alarmed. A sore throat on its own wasn't linked to laryngeal cancer, he said, but importantly, this study also provides the best evidence to date to support the current recommendation to refer older patients with persistent hoarseness. The larynx is part of the throat found at the entrance of the windpipe that helps you breathe and speak. In the UK, there are around 2,000 new cases of laryngeal cancer each year. The research led by University of Exeter looked at patients' records from more than 600 GP practices and studied 806 patients diagnosed with cancer of the larynx and 3,559 control patients. It is published in the British Journal of General Practice. Now, lead author Dr. Elizabeth Shepherd said it was the first real look at all the symptoms that might be important for laryngeal cancer. The significance of this study really is that we found that hoarseness is important for laryngeal cancer, but significantly, the risk of having laryngeal cancer greatly increases when it's combined with a recurrent sore throat, she said. Well, so if you're suffering anything of the sort this morning, please, 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 don't be alarmed, but approach with caution. Make sure that your GP or your doctor says to you. Okay, we'll be coming to some more details of some stories making the round. It's now 10:58 from the Hearts of London. Let me bring you some song, nice music, and then we go on from there. This is Koda, says Hosanna.
I'm an overcomer. Yes, we're doing kunimo over Satan power. Cause I ain't in kunimo. See, I'm an overcomer. Cause say yes, we're doing kuni.
Yes, we're doing kuni over Satan power. Cause I ain't in kuni. I'm an overcomer.
I say yes, we're in kunimo.
Yes, we're in kuni over Satan power. Cause I ain't in kuni. I'm an
overcomer. Listen, no weapon fashioned against me shall prosper. For the greater one lives in me, yes it does, yes. It's wedding kulimo. See, I'm an overcomer. I say yes, wedding kunim.
Yes, wedding kunim. Over Satan power. Desire you kunim.
See, I'm an overcomer.
I'm an overcomer.
I say yes, wedding kunim.
Yes, wedding kunim.
Oh, yeah.
Over Satan power. Desire you kunim. I'm an overcomer.
I'm a ding now. I'm getting to Hosanna.
Hosanna.
I am for Hinarbo.
Hosanna.
Jesus Narbano.
Hosanna.
I am for Hinarbo.
Hosanna.
I'm getting to Hosanna.
Hosanna.
I mean, I won't bother say.
Hosanna.
Jesus Narbano.
Hosanna.
I am for Hinarbo.
Hosanna.
Kojo, come on. I am for Hinarbo.
Hosanna.
Hey, Jesus Narbano.
Hosanna.
I'm getting to Hosanna.
Hosanna.
Hey, I am for Hinarbo.
Hosanna.
Handkerchief. I'm getting to Hosanna.
Hosanna.
I am for Hinarbo.
Hosanna.
Jesus Narbano.
Hosanna.
I am for Hinarbo.
Hosanna.
I'm getting to Hosanna.
Hosanna.
To the King and Lord of Lords we say.
Yes, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It is the Tuesday edition of the morning show, as I said earlier on. Bring the time now to 4 minutes past 11.
Jesus Narbano. I am for Hinarbo. Kojo, come on.
In your shows at the moment, you see my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. OLAYOMI, all geared up to bring you the news from Nigeria, updates from Nigeria. But today he's not in his green and white, so I need to find out exactly what is going on.
I am for Hinarbo.
You know, at times the color that you wear depicts your mood. But I can tell you that OLAYOMI is in a good mood to bring you all that is happening in Nigeria or from Nigeria. So listen, thank you very much to Koda. He says Hosanna. All right then. Now let me go to my colleague. OLAYOMI, good morning to you.
Well, it is a good morning again to you, Mr. ARCHIE, and it is a good morning to all our listeners out there, and I hope you all had a very good night's rest. And for those of you that are just going to bed, just stay tuned and listen to some of the update as is happening back home in Nigeria. It is good morning and welcome again to the morning show on Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean radio station.
Yes. How are you, by the way?
Well, it could be better, but when you look at the situation back home, sometimes the most painful part of it is living for those of us that are living outside the country and knowing that a lot of things that are wrong, especially 17 days to the election.
Yeah.
Are we going to get it right? And I can only say, what would happen if we don't get it right again, this is a part of a continent that has been sleeping. We've been a sleeping giant. Just before coming on air, I did a replay of one of the interview we did in the studio last year with 4 panels. ARCHIE and Deji joining us from Singapore, and also Shewan Omusi, and also Lucas Adenike, and we also had a guest that joined us from Lagos. It was a 2-hour broadcast. We did one of the Niger Voices. What next? Was the topic, and now what would be happening after this whole election? I mean, we need competent people, not just on the federal, from the state to the local, so that the lives of the people can be meaningful. And it can only happen if the people vote in the right people. And I go back again to you in the studio.
Well, listeners, are the people going to vote for the right people, or are they going to be coerced in just voting or in a particular way? Because some people who have got financial muscles are going to be buying people's vote. What? Okay. Now, let me say good morning to Molalo Lerato. I hope I pronounced your name well, wherever you are. Good morning to you. And to all of you who have joined us on the Facebook, those of you on Periscope, those of you on Twitter, those of you on our apps, Mary Rose as well. Let me say good morning to you. Miss Archie, wherever you are, good morning to you. But now, let me go back to my colleague, Miss OLAYOMI, because there is lots happening. Now, any updates about the CJ and case?
Well, yes, still a lot happening. There was a lot of, there's still a lot of, mixed reaction. And, some lawyers in Lagos have expressed, their mixed reaction to the resolution by the Nigerian Bar Association for lawyers to boycott court for 2 days over what they tag illegal suspension of the Chief Justice of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogan. And that is still, a very, pressure from the not just the civil society, but as you can see from that update as well, from some of the lawyers, indicating that they must boycott the court, for 2 days. So yes, it's still an ongoing situation with that. But we just have to wait and see what would be happening. And hopefully before we can leave the broadcast, there was a particular audio I'm trying to play, that gave, from one of the senior advocate of Nigeria, that also explained, I did mention about one yesterday, Mr. Femi Falana. There was another one that gave a bit of understanding so that, some of our, listeners can get a kind of understanding around, the whole saga of these CGN, allegation of him not declaring his whole asset. And I hope we will be able to pick that just before, the broadcast, as I'm still, I think I thought I saved it, but I'm sure I'll pick it up and we can be able to look into it further.
Yeah. Now, we'll be talking about a bit detail about that. But, there was one area that some people off air were asking me or were chatting about, and that their concern was, what have been the declaration of assets regime in Nigeria? Does the president declare all his assets, the governors and all the various positions? Has everyone declared their assets? And is it the true declaration that they've made?
Well, it is a voluntary asset declaration, and I'm just going from the one of the website indicating that from the federal government. It's called voluntary asset and income declaration, and this is where you declare what you have. And let me just explain that a little bit further. The Nigerian Voluntary Asset and Income Declaration Scheme is a time-limited opportunity, and this also was during, for taxpayer to regularize their tax status relating to previous tax and period and pay any tax in due in exchange for a fully and honestly declared. So, but for the for individual that worked, within the federal government, especially, like we saw with the Chief Justice of Nigeria, yes, there's a code of conduct, by the Constitution that you must declare the asset, and officers are required to read instruction on this page carefully before completion. This form is scheduled of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, it is a mandatory for all public officers, whether elected, appointed, recruited, contracted, by whatever name called, to collect and sign for the form of the Code of Conduct Bureau office nearest to their workstation. But yes, the president have also mentioned that if there's any doubt with his own declaration of the asset that he have, then maybe the civil society can bring it up. But the reason why I'm trying to play that audio, and I hope I'll be able to find it, if not, we will have it ready tomorrow. We do apologize to all our listeners, is because this individual that put the charges against the CGN was once a former PA to the president, and also, part of the CPC. So was this all something to do with so it's kind of a bit difficult to get why now that this petition was labeled and from this particular individual. But like I did mention, I can wholly hope we will find that clip. If otherwise, we will have it ready, to play for the listeners tomorrow. And I go back again to you in the studio.
Wow. Okay, listeners, this is Starr Radio UK, and that is Mr. OLAYOMI. My colleague bringing you updates from Nigeria. I'm here in the studio. I'm Archie, and we'll be having a continued chat. We're going to be talking about what is happening when it comes to the political front 17 days on, and what are the stake? What is still at stake? What are the objections and issues being raised by other politicians? We'll be having a look at all that and the general happenings in Nigeria. Now, going on to 17 days more to the elections. Virtually, we know everybody will be throwing in the kitchen sink and everything. We know that the PDP suspended its campaign for 72 hours. And I don't know whether by this time they've resumed. Have they?
Oh, yes. I could tell you that, they've resumed back. And I might have just a snip from the audio clip that the Atiku himself, he was like, the State of Nation address, by the Atiku Abubakar presidential campaign for the PDP. We won't play everything, but it's important that we just listen to a little bit out of that. And then we can just, come back to the update itself.
Okay. Our dear country is passing through a difficult moment. How we react to this challenge following days will determine the fate of our democracy, which has been brought to a great peril by this needless crisis, engineered by a government that is unwilling to subject its conduct to the requirements of our Constitution. Meanwhile, I commend all Nigerians and friends of Nigeria who have expressed outrage over the unlawful removal of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Wanda Onoke. An action which constitutes a flagrant breach of our Constitution and a frontal assault on our democracy.
Okay, we will leave that, we will have that fully played on Niger Voices tomorrow for those that might want to listen to it. It's a 7-minute clip, and also the write-up will be posted for those that might want to read in details exactly what the presidential candidate, and this was done just after we left the updates yesterday at about 12:17 p.m. in Nigeria. So that tells you that the matter for the CGN is something that is still really whether right now is the best time to remove it, and also if the president have done the the right thing in terms of the Constitution around the legality, which, like I did mention, if I don't have that audio, we will have that, where another senior advocate of Nigeria was explaining in details exactly what the whole situation is around the declaration asset, or why now. And also yesterday we know that the CCT, the code of conduct that are prosecuting this individual, have not put the whole case under indefinite, and that means nothing is going to happen now until they come back to that case again. So you can say that, it's quite a lot that is taking place at the moment back home, and I can go back to you again in the studio.
Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi Koiki there for you. Now, do you think that the other smaller parties, with concerns that have been raised by this major one, that is the PDP, looking at the fact that the CGN has been removed or suspended and investigations are going to go on, whether he's going to be exonerated before the election itself and maybe reinstated, we're not sure about all that, because it might take a bit of time for them to go through the whole case. Now, do you think they are reassured or they feel good with the election that will go on in general? Do you think they have confidence in it?
Well, the question is a lot of party have been raising is whether there will be a free and fair election. Yes, the Chief Justice of Nigeria also knowing that, some election tribunal judges have been appointed as well after the whole acting Chief Justice took place at Mohammed Tanko. So yes, they have not really mentioned whether they would not participate. Everybody will still go ahead according to the date and the time of that election in about 17 days from today. But the question on the lips of not just the political party and the smaller party, like you always like to call them, is are we going to see a free and conclusive election, and would that be delivered without any kind of interest, whether with the tamper from the justice, the security, the INEC. Remember, all these individuals are all working together, and the reason why they've set up a petition tribunal now is so that there will be some cases that will be coming out just after the election. It might not be just from the presidency alone, even from the state to the federal to the Senate, should people are not satisfied with the outcome.
Okay. Now, let me just touch on one other story before we go on. That the All Progressive Congress, that's the APC, caucus of the Nigerian Senate, has exonerated its members from a suit seeking clarification on the suspension of the of Walter Onegin, that the Chief Justice of Nigeria. In a statement signed by Ahmed Lawan, the Senate leader, on Monday night, the caucus said it never met to decide such. Hours earlier, a statement by Yusuf Olaniyonu, I hope I pronounced it well, the media aide to Senate President Bukola Saraki, announced that the Senate had filed a suit at the Supreme Court to seek legality of Mr. Onegin's controversial removal by the President Muhammad Buhari. Now, is the Senate or the Senate leader, is he pursuing that action?
Yes, also they were meant to have a preliminary today, but that yesterday there was a breaking news that was now been cancelled, so there will not be a sitting as it was planned today. Yes, there will be a lot of court cases, that will also be going on regarding, the legality, whether the president have done the right thing, and I'm sure that is part of what that update is also talking about.
Okay. Now go on, sir.
Okay, let's just quickly take out some of the other latest news that is taking place around the country. The election NYSC coordinator task corps members of patriotism. Robin Mullin, also Nigeria to host the African Cup Track Championship that is coming up as well. Speak up against rape, that is also coming up in the headline today. Campaign 2019, Buhari storms Abia State with APC members. The president has been, moving from state to state in doubt that he will be attending some of this rally. But I think, his organizers have been able to put them together that he really needs to be on the stage if only people will believe that he himself is the right person. After all this rumor of whether he's the individual or not. So, and I'm sure that is why they're really pushing him to attend most of the rally. NBA strike stalls judiciary activities at the Federal High Court also is coming up on the news there. PSG also boycott. Lagos lawyers expressed mixed reaction, like we did mention in that first broadcast as well. Magu Momo Dabirerewa orders bags award in the U.S. and also Lagos reveals NAFDAC approved solution that helped him last 25 minutes. Let's just take a look more, as the politics is the most important thing that is happening around our country in the next 17 days. Yesterday we did mention, don't meddle in our affairs. Nigeria wants envoys. That's a strong message that the presidency is still telling all the embassies and their high commissioner in Nigeria not to meddle with that. Buhari hosts APC senator candidate to a dinner at Aso Rock. Hold federal government responsible if anything untold happens to me. And that is, the governor of Benue State. We know Benue State, as a food basket of Nigeria, have always been, the issue between the herdsmen crisis and the farmer. This governor used to be an APC before his alliance went back to PDP. Let's take one more. Onagan, tough options for lawyers in Buhari's cabinet. That is also coming up. And finally, AA adopt Buhari, dumps Atiku. Owerri, the battle over which presidential candidate the Action Alliance will support in 2019 may have come to an end following the declaration of the national chairman of the party, putting in for Buhari. Removal of Onagan as CGN is proper, timely forum of presidential candidate. And all this, is what are the news coming out from Nigeria this morning.
Okay, listeners, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:23. I have with me Mr. OLAYOMI. I'm in the studio. I'm the one and only Archie here, and we're bringing you updates from Nigeria. Okay, now when it comes to this, the position of the Lagos lawyers, lawyers ignoring the NBA's call to boycott directive. I mean, we have lawyers who were saying that they were calling for a boycott of the courts for 48 hours. Now, do you think that by so doing it's going to make the president maybe have a rethink or change his position pertaining to the suspension of this CJN? Because everything that people are trying to do is to stop it. But listen, if the person is at fault or is guilty of the fact that he didn't declare his assets when he was supposed to come into, who is supposed to have checked that before he was sworn in? I thought all those things would have been done by government to make sure that this person that is coming in actually has got clean hands before coming in. So with all the support and everything that is going on, do you think it's going to change the president's mind?
Well, it's not going to change, and that is part of that, still that same audio. And I would, like I said, we'll actually have it, because that senior advocate of Nigeria was explaining some of the words that were being used, during, the announcement of the new acting CGN, knowing that is something like, you cannot just change it. I mean, these are powerful, terms from the law that you can't change it. So the question that you are raising, whether there, all these protests or, that is taking place around the country, will make the federal government back down. I mean, even the case itself, has been put on indefinite, leave, let me put it that way. So it doesn't look like nothing is going to happen, even if the case itself has now been put on hold, knowing that the CGN itself has been suspended.
Now, the new CGN, the one that has been sworn in, who was sworn in last Saturday, has he made any statement?
Well, apart from, doing his official duty, we were following development yesterday. He's back, to the Supreme Court, doing exactly what he's meant to do. He has sworn in some petition tribunal judges. And from the information, nothing has been said. Is the acting, but some individuals are still refusing to accept him as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. So how all this will be played out within the next couple of days as the election draws closer, I'm sure not just Nigerians are monitoring, but likewise the international community as well. But the question is, what would happen should the current, the suspended CGN still refuse? I mean, I did mention this yesterday. In a sane society, he could have resigned, but also after listening to that senior advocate of Nigeria this morning, you then have to start thinking, was the proper channel done before the removal, before it got to the presidency? Remember, this is a government that have refused to obey court orders for as much as we could remember. There are still a lot of individuals. Dasuki is still in the coffer as house arrest. Isaac, the Shiite leader, also is still under house arrest, and there's been a lot of court order to release them. And these are some of the issues that I'm sure the lawyers are all looking into as we speak right now.
Wow. Listen, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and it is now 11:27. It is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. With me is Mr. OLAYOMI, my colleague, bringing you updates from Nigeria. Now, there's one area that the president promised during, that was one of his manifesto when he was campaigning 4 years ago, and that is pertaining to the total annihilation of Boko Haram threat. But it's been going on. Now, information coming in talks about 30,000 people who have fled a particular village or town because of the threat of Boko Haram. Now, my question here is, now, on the campaign trail, do you have parties, other parties, the PDP, you have the maybe the AAC and all the others talking about the Boko Haram threat and what steps they are going to take to maybe resolve the whole issue or annihilate them?
Well, the question on the lips of a lot of Nigerians is security. I mean, after picking up health care, because health is very important as well. Security will make a country safe, will make a country to the economy to grow. And yes, the PDP, and this was also asked when Buba Galadima was at the House of Commons on Friday, was also a question that was raised by Nigerians, in diaspora, that what will he do differently in terms of tackling, the Boko Haram? I mean, we need, and what, I remember some of the word that Buba Galadima mentioned was, we need to fight them using technology. I mean, there are some gadgets that you can purchase. And just to go back on that again, I listened to Omoyele Sowore when he was at one of the, the religious leader in Plateau State, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And when that individual was talking, because, they have experienced a lot of Boko Haram, problem within their area. He said, look, in this 21st century, there are some there are some gadgets that you can just put out there that can get as much of view of what is happening, in a far distance, even using the drone. And the Boko Haram are also using drones from information that we have. That means, we have a big problem. And just before I finished on that, just about an hour ago, a very good blogger friend of mine posted on his Facebook page, Boko Haram violence, UNHCR, $135 million to aid displaced people. Boko Haram is a cool cash business in Nigeria.
Wow. I see. Okay. Now, any information about any measure, that's my news. I'm just waiting for the big measure to take place,
Well, maybe there's still ongoing conversation between Sowore now and the two, Kingsley and Fela, that have joined together to become the third force. We'll just have to monitor that and wait. And also, we are following that, development on, back in Abuja, because I'm not sure is back in Abuja from his campaign trail. So yes, at the moment, there's no news on that. But be rest assured, if that news comes up, will be the first in hand to break it to all Nigerians wherever they are. But we might hopefully maybe try to get again, the communication director, Rachel, to join me on Starr Radio UK Niger Voices tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe she might have something, at the background, to tell our listeners. So those of you that are listening, make sure you tune in at 6 p.m. tomorrow. And we will be also having one of the candidates from the African Action Congress, because I know you love the smaller party. One of their governorship candidates from Ogun State will be the one to join me live from Lagos tomorrow on Niger Voices. An interesting time, 17 more days. We will be the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Wow. And on that note, let me say, Olayomi, thank you very much for another brilliant time with you.
Thank you very much. And to everyone that have joined on the broadcast this morning, continue to stay tuned and let us make sure we do our own little bit so that Nigeria and Africa will be a better place for the generation coming behind. And have a good morning. It is Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean radio station. Bye for now.
Bye-bye for now. Okay, listen, that was Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria this morning, and we've discussed a few things. Now, if you are listening to us and you think you have a take pertaining to all these issues that we've talked about or raised, I want you to feel free to call me. You can call the studio lines 0208 133 2257 or 58 0208 1332257 or 58. US or Canada is 001 718 303 2737 001 718 303 2737. Text or WhatsApp is 075 396617. For our Twitter handle is at Starr Radio UK, and our email address is info@starradiouk.com. Those of you in the US and Canada, we have a dial to listen number for you, and that is 001 518 400 6069 001 518 400 6069. We'll take a break, and once we come back, we'll continue with the show. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedisa Charlie.
Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships, and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM12 4AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
If I told you message.
Charlie, come me try cash no. The way me hu man me suspect so Benjamin ato. Me pa cho send you ntem why na e was na kikote draw pharmacy obrem sisi a. Wo saka we from why? Na we dey Charlie ya wapa o.
If I told you message.
Oh, come me go so try call no. Charlie, my yes rough from back why?
Hey Joe, me send messages no why. Nyabu trema me, no pressure. Me chat to direct amount here. So mobile money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. And you, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say what me do MoneyGram. Mobile money wallet mo Ghana ha. ZPay and a tire MoneyGram bringing you closer. Service way. Ubenya MoneyGram agent biao.
You are listening to Starr Radio Morning Show.
Okay, so for all my Nigerian listeners, wherever you are and wherever you are enjoying this program, enjoy this song. They're from Timaya. Say pity for us. Oh,
it's not Biggie Man, it's not for man. Hello Nigerians, so should be another me. Don't be waiting, them be talk. This was not what they promised us. So them tell us that they go bring the change. Oh no 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 no. As the thing they go, situation is just a bad. As they break, things is just a hard. No food to chop. Every day dollar they rise. See the people done they cry. Oh no 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 no. Pity for us. Pity for us. Politicians please pity for us. I beg we the beg. See my people done they die. Please pity for us, oh, politicians. Please pity for us, oh. Oh no 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 no. I believe in Nigeria with all my life. I bless to Nigeria, my country, oh. With all my heart, oh. Anywhere I go to Nigeria, anything I do na Nigeria. Anywhere I go to Nigeria. See my house is not for Nigeria. I invest in my Nigeria. Everything I plan for Nigeria. Politicians show some love, oh. Oh no 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 no. Pity for us, oh. Pity for us, oh. Politicians have mercy on us, oh. I beg we the beg, oh. We don't pay the thing done the bad, oh. Please pity for us, oh. Politicians, please pity for us, oh. Oh no 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 no. As we sit down, they complain today, our crying food for our body. As we there for here, we they complain our only food for our body. Oh, hey, search your conscience, oh. We suffer no good, oh. Make we live right, oh. We suffer no they try. I don't say everyday politicians steal our money. I don't say politicians carry our money go overseas. People they die. Politicians just they smile, oh. People they die, oh. Their children they overseas. Pity for us, oh. Pity for us, oh. Politicians have mercy on us, oh. We don't they die, oh. Anything we do, oh. Please pity for us, oh. Politicians have mercy on us, oh. Oh no 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 no. Hey, this is painful, oh. My maker. As we sit down, they complain today, our crying food for our body. As we there for here, we they complain our only food for our body. Oh, hey, search your conscience, oh.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Make we live right, oh. We suffer no they try. I don't say everyday politicians steal our money. I don't say politicians carry our money go overseas. People they die. Politicians just they smile, oh. People they die, oh. Their children they overseas. Pity for us, oh. Pity for us, oh. Politicians have mercy on us, oh. We don't they die, oh. Anything we do, oh. Please pity for us, oh. Politicians have mercy on us, oh. Oh no 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 no.
Only the best music.
As we sit down, they complain today, our crying food for our body. As we there for here, we they complain our only food for our body. Oh, hey, search your conscience, oh. We suffer no good, oh. Make we live right, oh. We suffer no they try. I don't say everyday politicians steal our money. I don't say politicians carry our money go overseas. People they die. Politicians just they smile, oh. People they die, oh. Their children they overseas. Pity for us, oh. Pity for us, oh. Politicians have mercy on us, oh. We don't they die, oh. Anything we do, oh. Please pity for us. So politicians have mercy on us. Oh no, 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 no. Hey, this is painful.
Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Well, welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:41 from the hearts of London. This afternoon exactly at 1 o'clock, we'll be having Mr. Mike DeLeon coming your way with another edition of the Caribbean Focus program, the program that looks at the Caribbean area, looking at the weather to every news that is breaking there. From A to Z, you want to know? Make sure that you tune in to listen to that program. It comes your way every Tuesday from 1 to 3 o'clock. That means that this program finishes 10 minutes to 1. Okay? So, if you want to join in the conversation this morning, feel free. The numbers, once again, 0208-133-2257, 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you're in the US or Canada, it's 001-718-303-2737, 001-718-303-2737. Text or WhatsApp is 075-3966-1744, 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and our email address is info@starradiouk.com. And like I said earlier on, those of you in the US and Canada, we have a dial to listen number that you can just dial to listen to Starr Radio UK if you don't have the data. Okay, that is 001-518-400-6069. 001-518-400-6069. Okay, now let's come to some of the news making the rounds here. Like I told you, today is going to be, okay, let me put it that way. Is it going to be another Waterloo for the Prime Minister? First, she's going to be facing her Waterloo again. Or this time round, maybe the hearts of the MPs are going to change. She might be able to sway them to her side. And maybe Brexit means Brexit. You know, 2 years on when every time that question was posed to her, and he said, what is Brexit? Oh, it's how Brexit means Brexit. Now we know that they didn't know what a Brexit actually meant, because what she thought was Brexit, people are saying, no, that is not Brexit. So what actually is Brexit? Now, we're talking about people who are looking at maybe at the verge of losing their jobs. Those who, yesterday we had some of the supermarkets last night publishing that, look, of joining in to say there shouldn't be the scenario where we say we have no deal, because the moment we have no deal, that is going to be a big trouble, because it's going to affect the prices of food, and some of these vegetables and what groceries that we have or we use are all imported. And if there is a no deal scenario, it's going to impact it negatively. So what do we want to do? But well, it will be going on. Let me bring you a bit of detail of that, and then we'll move on. Now, MPs are preparing to vote on amendment to Theresa May's Brexit deal that could shape the next stage of negotiating with the EU. Now, Conservative MPs have been told to back a proposal for an alternative to the Irish backstop, the insurance policy against the return of a visible border. But it's not yet known which amendment will be chosen for a vote. Separately, Conservative MPs on both sides of the Brexit argument have been planning for a no-deal scenario. But for the government, Tuesday was about turning a thick wall of resistance into a hurdle that at some point they might overcome. Now, Speaker John Bercow would say which amendments are going to be put forward at the start of the debate at about a quarter to 2, that is 13:45 GMT, with Mrs. May now set to open the debate, with voting taking place in the Commons from 19 hours GMT. Now, MPs have been tabling proposed changes to the government's plans to try to influence the direction of Brexit since Mrs. May lost the vote on her original deal earlier this month. They include proposal to rule out leaving the EU with no deal, or to delay Brexit from its scheduled date of the 29th of March. The Prime Minister's official spokesperson or spokesman said on Tuesday voting will be followed as soon as possible by a second meaningful vote on whatever deal have been secured with Brussels. But the BBC's political correspondent Ian Watson said Tory MPs on both sides of the argument are starting to draw up more alternatives in case no progress can be made and the UK leaves the EU without a deal. And I've been asking the question. Is it all going to be okay on the day? Or, well, we don't know what is going to happen. Let's just decide on it as it was going on when the Prime Minister told Boris that just follow us, let's just do it, and we'll look at the next stage. Now, former Remainers, including ex-Education Secretary Nicky Morgan and Government Minister Stephen Hammond and Rob Beckland, have been working with Brexiteers Jacob Rees-Mogg and Steve Baker on the plan. According to a late document, the proposal drawn up by the rival factions will extend the transition period during which the UK could continue to follow EU rules and pay into its budget from the end of 2020 to December 2021 to allow more time to reach a free trade deal. Now, EU citizens' rights will be guaranteed during this time. There will be no customs checks on the Irish border, and the UK will pay 39 billion so-called divorce deal. But the EU was standing tough on its position on no renegotiation, and they were mesmerized with what was happening in Parliament. Europe editor Katia Alda said. Now, it went on to say, Mrs. May took the deal she had negotiated over the past 18 months with the EU to Parliament on January 15 for a meaningful vote, having delayed from December, but MPs rejected it by a record-breaking 432 votes to 202. Well, so what is going to happen today? I'm not sure. Some are advocating for leave. Others are advocating for remain. Others are saying, come back to us. Let's make the decision once again. But what do you think about all? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is the morning show. And it is me, your one and only Archie. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Now, relating to the no deal scenario, just in case, defense staff could be redeployed. Up to 1,000 defense workers could be redeployed to help the government. Will be redeployed to help the government in listeners, bear with me. Okay. All right. Listeners, just bear with me. I had a call coming through, but okay. Now, up to 1,000 defense workers could be redeployed to help the government cope with a no-deal Brexit, according to a memo seen by the BBC. The message sent to a staff in the Defense Equipment and Support Agency appeals for volunteers. The note said it was uncertain what work will be required if the UK leaves the EU without an agreement. Okay, listeners, I'll be with you in a minute. Let me just take a quick call and then I'll be with you. Stay tuned. Don't touch that.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedisa Charlie.
Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM124AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree. Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Apologies for the call that was coming through. Okay, now, so in the case of a no-deal Brexit scenario, the note said it was uncertain what could or would be required if the UK leaves the EU without an agreement. But it said redeployment in these circumstances would offer a real development opportunity. The SNP said Brexit was causing chaos and uncertainty, but the government said the civil service had the flexibility to deliver. Really? Now, Liberal Democrats Brexit spokesman Tom Brake accused the Conservative Party of scaremongering about a no-deal Brexit when the Prime Minister could easily take the option off the table. He called for another referendum, adding Theresa May is attempting to run down the clock as tinker with viable solutions to the Irish border and frightening MPs, businesses and public into supporting her already defeated deal. Now it goes on further to say defense equipment and support is the agency within the Ministry of Defense that supplies the Army, Royal Navy and IAF with everything from food to fighter jets. Now it employs almost 12,000 civil servants and military personnel at 150 bases across the UK and abroad. The memo issued by senior manager Neville Patton said up to 1,000 staff might be needed for redeployment. He said the agency had been asked to identify volunteers across all levels and roles profiles as part of a contingency planning for a no-deal Brexit. Now, Mr. Patton said defense workers could be needed to support other government departments and local government. Now, this provides a real development opportunity to take on a fresh challenge, developing new skills and experiencing, he wrote. He is currently uncertain what type of support might be required, for how long, and where people might be required. The memo suggested any redeployment should not last for not more than 6 months. The deadline for application was January 25, 9 weeks before the UK's scheduled departure from the EU on the 29th of March. So, well, if you were thinking of volunteering, I think the deadline of the application has already passed. But do you think that will help sort everything for us? It's like we are in a wartime where people have to be, organizing things, bringing you food, doing that and doing all that sorts. But what do you think? Well. 5 minutes to 12 is the time. Starr Radio UK, the station, the morning show, the program. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. It is me, your one and only Archie, here. Now, going to some news making the rounds in the world. Asia, Bibi blasphemy acquittal upheld. The Pakistani Christian spent 8 years on death row before her conviction was overturned. We're having a look at that story in a jiffy. Will Brussels budge on the Irish backstop? Those are some of the questions some people are asking. Concern is spreading in EU circles that the UK could crash out without a deal. A US doctor gave boy 4 cannabis cookies. A California doctor is fighting for his license after prescribing marijuana for temper tantrums. Whoa! I bet what a guy takes, the guys go. Interesting. Okay, the U.S. against corrupt Venezuela oil firm, and that's one of the areas that we'll be having a look at. Now, elderly woman die in free food stampede, and Poland alarmed by meat plant sick cattle. And then anger grows towards Brazil dam mine firm, and data on 14,000 people with HIV leaked. And Bolsonaro has colostomy bag removed. Those are some of the stories making the rounds. But this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing you news from archaeology to zoology, as we say and do all the time. A Pakistani top court has rejected a challenge to the acquittal of a Christian woman on blasphemy charges. The Supreme Court upheld its decision to overturn Asia Bibi's conviction and death sentence. She was originally convicted in 2010 after being accused of insulting the Prophet Muhammad in a row with her neighbors and spent 8 years on death row. She has always maintained her innocence in a case that has polarized Pakistan. The Supreme Court caution of her sentence last October led to violent protests by religious hardliners who support strong blasphemy laws, while more liberal sections of society urged her release. Now, hardliners had petitioned to overturn this ruling. Now, based on merit, this petition is dismissed, Chief Justice Asif Saeed Khosa said in court on Tuesday. Ms. Bibi, also known as Asia Noreen, was unable to leave Pakistan while an appeal request was pending. She should now be free to reunite with her family and seek safety in the country of her choice, Amnesty International said in a statement. Now, the ruling clears the way for her to leave Pakistan, though it is not clear when that will happen and when she will go. She has been offered asylum by a number of countries, and some unconfirmed reports say several members of her family may already be abroad. Meanwhile, the court ruling will test the resolve of the far-right Tariq al-Labal Pakistani group, which has conducted a violent anti-blasphemy campaign in the past. Though many of its leaders have been under arrest since October, when the court first acquitted Asia Bibi in a concerted move to forestall public unrest, Pakistan electronic media is underplaying the story. Many observers believe the ruling will revive the practice of applying standard legal tests of criminal procedure while adjudicating blasphemy cases, as they had increasingly become hostage to vigilante justice by extremists. Well, that is some of the stories making the rounds in the world today. Now, when it comes to the Brexit that is still going on, Boris Johnson insists on them. Graham Brady is pushing hard for them. Prime Minister Theresa May seems to be praying for them. And Dublin is deeply worried at the thought of them. But will the EU ever actually give in and make changes to the backstop? The guarantee post-Brexit to avoid that guarantee post-Brexit to avoid a hard border between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. The EU certainly never intended to budge on the backstop, painfully negotiated with the UK over 18 months and signed off last November by Mrs. May and her cabinet. But Europe's leaders didn't imagine that UK would still be in such flux over Brexit, so very close to B-Day on the 29th of March. That's Brexit Day on the 29th of March. Now, conservative conversation I had with EU figures before Christmas saw my contacts confidently predicting that 2019 will see a no-deal Brexit, which they didn't believe UK MPs will allow to happen. Now, Theresa May's Brexit deal being passed by Parliament with the cross-party support when MPs realized the looming risk of a no-deal. They thought the outcome, the most likely, or no Brexit at all. What is it going to be? Leave? No leave? No deal? Which is it going to be? Call us and let's know. Let me say good afternoon to Mr. Honorable Kofi Ali. I bet today is fuming. Kofi, how are you doing? I know. I forgot to mention you this morning. But hey, Kofi, I hope you are doing very well. Mr. David Klute, good morning to you and to every one of you that I didn't mention your name. I love you to the tops. I know you listen to us all the day. Now, let me say good morning also to good afternoon to Christiana Painter. Christiana, I hope you are doing very well as well. Regards to the family and to your good cause as well. She does a good cause. In support of Sickle Cell back in Ghana as well. So, yeah, pretty soon you'll be hearing some more information pertaining to that. And we will encourage you to join in to support a worthy cause. What about that? Okay, now let's move on to the Latin American area. Now, anger grows towards Brazil dam mine firm, the firm that didn't, the dam collapsed and it has killed loads of people. There was mudslide. You look at how the salvaging was going on and you get yourself worried because you saw how rescuers were trying to pull people from the mud. Slime of mud, virtually pulling them, and it's difficult, but you're trying to. It's all something. But did the owners or the managers of the dam know that was what was going to happen? Well, and then the mining firm that was there as well. Well, okay. U.S. target corrupt Venezuela oil firm, and the Bolsonaro has colostomy bag removed. That's some of the stories. Deaths are rare. Tornado hits Cuba's capital. Okay, so let's touch on those two stories and we'll move on from there. The U.S. has imposed sanctions on Venezuela's state-owned oil firm, the PDVSA, and urged the country's military to accept a peaceful transfer of power. National Security Advisor John Bolton said President Nicolas Maduro and his allies could no longer loot the assets of the Venezuelan people. Efforts by the opposition to unseat Mr. Maduro have increased in recent days. The U.S. and more than 20 countries have recognized opposition leader Juan Guaido as interim president. Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin said the proceeds of the purchase of the Venezuelan oil will now be withheld from Mr. Maduro's government, but the company could avoid sanctions by recognizing Mr. Guaido. Now, Venezuela is heavily reliant on the U.S. for its oil revenue, sending 41% of its oil exports there, while it remains on the top 4 crude oil supplies to the U.S. Mr. Maduro later announced he had told PDVSA to launch political and legal action in U.S. and international courts to protect its U.S. subsidiary Citgo. Okay. But the problem still goes on. Now, situation is such desperate that Venezuelan women are selling their hair at the border. So all this human hair that our people talk about, now you get to the border, you have people there with scissors or cleavers who just shave the hair off and they sell them. How much would they be sold for? Are you getting me? And it's quite a worrying trend. That's how desperate people are. So the stance by the US, do you think that is wrong or do you think that is right? Now, if people are such desperate, don't you think that they should have to go all in to make sure that they see to a peaceful transition, a peaceful move to prosperity, and at least let them live their lively, let them live their lives. But well, what is going to happen? I'm not very sure, but you will know. Wow. Call us on 0208 133 2257. In an interesting tweet to some stories making the round, a Californian doctor is fighting for his license after he prescribed cannabis cookies to a 4-year-old boy. Dr. William Eldman, a natural medicine physician, said small doses of marijuana will help control the child's temper tantrums. The doctor misdiagnosed the child as having bipolar disorder and attention deficit disorder, that's ADD. The Medical Board of California ruled to revoke the doctor's license, but he has launched an appeal. The board did not seek to revoke the license because the doctor had prescribed cannabis to a child, but because he was negligent in his care and treatment and had failed to consult a psychiatrist in the case. The boy's father consulted Dr. Erdman in September 2012 because his son was misbehaving at school. The doctor recommended small amounts of the drug, which was revealed when the school nurse was asked to give the boy his cannabis cookies at lunchtime. As a child, the boy's father had ADHD and bipolar disorder himself and had a negative experience with prescribed medication at the time, saying he felt like a human guinea pig. Now, he started using marijuana later in life, saying it helped calm him and change his behavior towards his wife, towards whom he had previously exhibited anger. So maybe marijuana can calm people down. The father had previously obtained the drug for his older son, who had also been diagnosed with ADHD and bipolar disorder. He said marijuana had had a positive effect on both his children. Dr. Edman has appealed against the ruling made on 4th of January and says he will continue to practice. His lawyer said he had won a suspension of the revocation pending a future hearing. Medicinal cannabis usage has been legal in California since 1996. Dr. Edman estimates that he has recommended the drug to thousands of patients. Now, interesting times ahead. Okay. This is Starr Radio UK. 7 minutes past the top of the hour is the time. Your station is Starr Radio UK. I'm the one and only Archie, and the show is the morning show. It finishes exactly at 10 minutes to 1 to prepare the grounds for the program that will be taking place. That is the Caribbean Focus program with no other person by the big Mike himself, Mr. Mike DeLeon, and it is from 1 to 3. Make sure you tune in to continue to listen to us on this program. It is Starr Radio UK. A quick commercial break, and I'll take you to Africa, where there are a few things happening, and then we'll go to Ghana, where there are lots of things happening as well. But you stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedisa Charlie.
Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM12 4AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
Chale, Kobi, me try cash no. The way me hu ne man me suspect so mbeji me ato. Me pa chaw send you ntem why na e was na kiko to draw pharmacy obrem sisi a. Wo saka we pe from why. Na we dey chale ya wapa o.
Kwabrani, if I join your message.
Oh, Kobi, me go so try call no. Chale, my yes rough from back why?
Hey Joe, Mr. Count messages no why. Nyabu trema me, no pressure. Me chat to direct amount here. So mobile money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. And you, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say what me do MoneyGram. Mobile money wallet more Ghana ha. ZPay and a tree. MoneyGram bringing you closer. Service way. We now MoneyGram agent biao.
If you've had an accident in the last 3 years, that was not your fault. Get in touch with London Accident Claims Limited. It could be a motor accident or a workplace injury. You could be entitled to compensation. Just one call to our specialist team will take care of everything. For minicab drivers with PCOs, there is even better news. We provide you with a replacement vehicle. Call us on 0800-032-6798 or 0208-665-7667 to start your claims with London Accident Claims Limited. London Accident Claims Limited, a partner you can trust. You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when partly worn.
I know. So improve but degree. Okay, what about but degree? No when you secret your fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and now masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and a financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be bremu. UK degree and a masters fully sponsored. T UK abai betimi amal up to £21,000 every year. Now what your school fees about degree. So how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your KB. Now what your degree. So British passport, indefinite, and now EU passport, 18 and now 55 years. When so bet me and your KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from say we up to £21,000, no. Abai bet your school fees near the end now. Any for 07904793019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nyesika nefetria wo fees, but degree.
All I can see sometimes.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say order, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let me say good afternoon to my apostle himself. That's Apostle Henry Bruce. Let me say good afternoon to you wherever you are. Okay, so we move on to the last bit of the program, looking at what is happening on the African front, and then we move on to Ghana as well. Now, on the African front, Cameroon opposition leader has been arrested. Cameroon opposition leader has been arrested, and they're swapping Boko Haram for life skills. Now, 6 children killed for body parts. That's in Tanzania. Tanzanian authorities say the bodies were missing ears and teeth in depth linked to witchcraft. And the Zimbabwe president appalled at attack, and the Sudan medic protesters are getting braver. VW announces plans to assemble cars in Ethiopia. Those are some of the stories making the rounds in or on the African continent, and a lot more from there. Nigeria lawyers announced nationwide strike over Chief Justice dismissal, and the kickoff of 2019 AFCON moved back a week. Okay, we'll be having a look at all that. For what? We know that Egypt had to take the ball on last minute, but we'll see what happens. And then Sudan protests have Bashir visits Egypt, blames media infiltrators. Now Ethiopia helps secure release of tycoon held in Saudi since 2017. Music icon Oliver Mutukudzi laid to rest in Zimbabwe. Those are some of the news making the rounds in or on the African continent. Now, Professor Maurice Kamto, Cameroon's main opposition leader, has reportedly been arrested. His party and rights activists in the Central African country confirmed on Monday, January 28. Kamto, who is a leader of the Cameroonian Renaissance movement, CRM, has been taken to an unknown destination, according to a lawyer in the Anglophone region, Agbo in Congo. Now, even though government has yet to comment on the development, it is largely believed that arrest, which took place in Douala, is linked to a peaceful protest by Kamto's part over the weekend. Now, reports indicate that he is not the only one detained, that other members of the party have also been held and are due to be sent to Yaoundé for questioning. He came in second in October 2018 presidential election, which were won by the incumbent Paul Biya. The former Biya appointee led an opposition coalition that involved renowned lawyer Akere Mora. The pair struck a deal with about 24 hours to the opening of votes. He was the first to declare himself winner of the vote, following which security was deployed to the party's office and his residence. He was briefly put under house arrest, but all measures subsequently withdrawn. Now, he was also the heart of a legal challenge seeking the annulment of the presidential result. His team, however, saw their petition dismissed by the Constitution. But now, let me just go straight when I think I have a caller online. Let me see who is there. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother ARCHIE, Kwame.
Hello, my brother Kwame. How are you, sir?
Fine.
Good. I don't know which area you want to pick. We are here to touch Ghana, but whichever. So please, fire on.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Brexit.
Okay, go on. Are we Brexiting? Yeah. Are we remaining or no deal?
Yeah, but when we voted for Brexit, I think we voted for no deal.
How did we vote for no deal?
Yeah, because you want to come out. If you want to come out, you want to come out.
Okay. Divorce means divorce.
Yeah, you are going to say you are divorcing somebody. You want to divorce. You don't want to be remaining there halfway.
But Kwame, this looks like when you're divorcing and you have kids in the midst. So you have to make sure that the father or the mother or both parties are able to have a relationship with the kids, so they can come to your house and you can go to the house, and the children don't need any. They can move around easily.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you that's why in some part of some certain section of religious bodies, there's no need for divorce. But if you said you are divorcing, you are going to the default position.
Okay.
And the default position is no deal.
Okay.
You see? So when somebody comes out like Jeremy Corbyn and say take no deal out of the table, I don't support it. You see, because you have to go to your default position and start to negotiate again with whatever deal you want to do. You see. So to me, that's then all this going on about the supermarkets and stuff like that. To me, it's scaremongering and it's about profit.
I think it's just about profit, but in reality, Kwame, if we have no deal, okay, and these what they call them, foodstuff that comes from Europe are supposed to come into this part of the world. Now, when it gets to the border, there's going to be all this check-in and stuff that is going to take place. It's going to delay them.
That's actually
yes.
The people producing the foodstuffs in whatever country, from Kenya right up to Spain or every Greece and everywhere producing these foodstuffs.
Yeah.
After Brexit or no deal, would they want to throw them away or still find market for it?
They also want to find market for it. Yeah.
So why are we panicking? So if the market is here, why are we panicking? They will also find a way to sell their product, won't they?
Yes. Everybody knows that their life is at stake, so everybody will do their best.
So then let's go on and then find a way to bring the food in. Because they can't stop producing, because the people shouting in the EU, they also depend on their export to run their country.
Of course.
Don't they?
Of course, they do.
So why are we trying to scare each other? Because after whatever, the man will still want to sell his cars to Britain.
Of course. So you think that we should still leave the no deal scenario on the table?
Look, as a Democrat, maybe I wouldn't prefer the leave situation. You see, but if that's what the majority voted for, let's get on with it, and then let's see the next stage. You see, because everybody producing whatever is producing in his country, even Britain, whatever is producing, we still want to find a market for it to run the economy.
Yeah.
The same way everybody's everywhere, we also still find a market for it. See? No, because it's essential. Why the traffic is only one way?
I get you there. Like, it should be a dual. It should be a dual traffic. I'm coming. You also coming. Meet me halfway. Okay.
So it looks as if the EU is like, look, we've created a monster, you see, and they feel they have to call the shots. But at the end of the day, individual countries, like you went on about talking about Venezuela.
Yeah.
Which produces oil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation, they also want to sell their oil.
Yeah.
Is it? Because when you produce more than you can use, and it's what gives you income, like gold in Ghana or cocoa in Ghana, you have to find market for
it. Yeah, you can't store. You can't save it forever. You have to still sell it to make some ends meet for yourself as well.
Yeah. So the people producing whatever cucumber and whatever in other countries who still wants to find markets for their products.
But what do you think about those who are also calling for a second referendum? Because they think that, look, yes, democratically, the information that was dispensed for people to vote based on were filled with lies. So maybe they think that, well, whatever the situation is, we might have to relook at all this. What do you think about them?
Yeah, okay. We still have to look at everything that is coming out because, some of the rhetoric wasn't what is supposed to be or weren't right. But the thing is, you have people representing you. So if the people representing you in the House can't find their way forward, then they have to go back to their people and say, look, this has come to a dreadlock. What do you think?
Okay.
That's when the second referendum will come in.
Okay.
But so long as the people representing us, the MPs are debating, we have to continue to see how they debate. But in the first place, we voted to give them one mandate already. And that mandate must be carried out first.
Okay, so that has to be carried out first, and then we can now look at the next stage of the negotiation or whatever thing that's going on.
And then when we come out and now we are starving, and we realize that the food is not coming in, or the things that we exist on is not coming in there, then we can call them again back and say whether we want to vote again.
Okay, so what do you see? Do you think the Prime Minister is going to get her deal through today, or the various amendments? Is she going to get it through today?
The various amendments is a bit confusing because following the debate, there's no concrete something on the table now. So it's today that the world will open their boxes for us to see what the various amendments are. So we'll listen to them. You see, but as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, you see, to me, I don't have any particular blame for the Prime Minister, because it's like you are trying to please different interests. You see, you end up pleasing no one. So at the end of the day, it's the voting that will determine what the people want.
Okay.
So you, the Prime Minister, what can you do when you have so many interests? People want this, people want that, people want this. And you can't just create it for everybody. Because at the end of the day, you have to have choice. Some people wouldn't get their choice. But at the end, this has to come between votes. But the mandate that has been given out there is default, go back to default position. And that's no deal. And that has to be carried out first.
Wow. Okay, now, no, before you go, one final one. Now, what would you think that Jeremy Corbyn have to do today if you were his advisor? What would you tell him?
You see, as long as Jeremy Corbyn is concerned, I don't think he's helping the issue. You see, because in this kind of situation, we want leaders. We don't want followers. And leaders has to make their position known.
Okay.
You see, if you're a leader, you have to come out boldly and tell your people that this is where I stand. But you don't want to come out in a way that, you want to. No, you have to be bold. Because if you, Jeremy Corbyn, you want to remain, or you want to, your philosophy has to determine whatever you believe in. You see? Because to me, as I know, I don't know what he wants.
Whether he wants to remain, whether he wants the people's vote. But he's made one point clear. He said, I don't want a no-deal scenario.
But you don't want a no-deal scenario when no deal is the default position. Because you're negotiating everything when you're starting afresh.
Yeah.
You can't say, let me negotiate for the borders, negotiate for foodstuffs, negotiate for this, at one go. No, first come out first, and then you start to negotiate, because what the people voted for is to come out of the EU.
Okay.
So that has to be carried out first. Then we start to negotiate with countries. Yes, some people say the default position will be World Trade Organization position.
Yeah.
Yes, we start from there then.
But in the interim, what is going to happen? Where people are going to, people are going out of jobs, like there's going to be scarcity of food, food prices are going to go up, and those uncertainties. What do you think people should do?
Look, well, actually, me as an African, I'm happy whatever is happening, because I see the EU and others as a cartel.
Okay.
That also stops the growth of other countries, because they have their own rules, and all the countries are bound by it. Even if you are exporting something from Africa to Britain, you have to obey the EU rules.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
And to me, that alone also is a pediment for the development of certain countries.
Okay.
So coming out will open the way for others also to be able to operate. So me, I don't think, if whatever negotiation has to go on, the default position is no deal.
Okay.
Then start to negotiate for
From
deals
there.
that we want.
Okay.
So me, I don't agree with Jeremy Corbyn anyway.
You don't agree with him. Okay. Okay. My brother Kwame, let me say thank you very much for your contribution today.
Thank you.
All right then. Bye-bye. Okay, listen, that was Kwame bringing his take on the Brexit. He said, well, we voted to leave. Whatever the case is, a no-deal scenario should be the default position. Let's go there, and once we get there, then we can decide to look at the next step. Now, well, there's a tendency that there could be hunger, there could be whatever, but it will be an interim thing. And after that, we'll be flying like no man's business. What do you think about all that? You can also add your voice to the discussion. But like I said earlier on, exactly at 12:50, we'll be bringing the program to a close because we'll be having Mr. Mike DeLeon joining us exactly at 1 o'clock with the Caribbean Focus program. So make sure you continue to listen to us. It's a program that is tailored to bring you all the information, the details, even up to the weather forecast in the Caribbean area. What more would you want to know? Yeah, I bet you'll be talking about Venezuela as well. So make sure that you stay tuned to listen to us again. This is Starr Radio UK. A quick commercial break and I'll be with you. Stay tuned.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedisa Charlie.
Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM12 4AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
Chale, Kobi, me try cash no. The way me hunya man me suspect some Benjamin ato. Me pa chow send you ntem na e was na kiko to draw pharmacy obrem sisia. Wo saka we from why? Na we dey chale ya wapa o.
Kwabrani, if I join your message.
Oh, Kobi, me go so try call no. Chale, my yes rough from back why?
Hey Joe, me start count messages no why. Nyabu trema me, no pressure. Me chat to direct Moses here. So mobile money.
MoneyGram to mobile money. Anyo, MoneyGram to mobile money. Say what me do MoneyGram. Mobile money wallet mo Ghana ha. ZPay and a tayetri. MoneyGram bringing you closer. Service way. Ubenya MoneyGram agent biao.
If you've had an accident in the last 3 years, that was not your fault. Get in touch with London Accident Claims Limited. It could be a motor accident or a workplace injury. You could be entitled to compensation. Just one call to our specialist team will take care of everything. For minicab drivers with PCOs, there is even better news. We provide you with a replacement vehicle. Call us on 0800-032-6798 or 0208-665-7667 to start your claims with London Accident Claims Limited. London Accident Claims Limited, a partner you can trust. Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I had the professor himself in the house, so we needed to make sure we acknowledge him. Yes. Okay, now let's move on. Let's move on to some other stories happening in Africa before I bring you a musical break, and then we move on to touch on some other issues in Ghana. Now, 6 children in southwestern Tanzania have been killed and had their ears and teeth removed, the authorities say. Now, some of the bodies of the children aged between 2 and 9 years old were also missing limbs. Now, this is all about superstitious beliefs, and many believe they will get help from witchcraft. Njombe District Commissioner Ruth Musafiri has said. Now, police have detained one suspect, a close relation of 3 of the children who were from the same family. Now, 10 children in all have gone missing in Njombe since the beginning of December, and 4 have been found alive. Now, correspondents say that some witch doctors in the region tell people that human body parts have special properties that can bring them wealth and luck. Interesting. Now, it goes on further to say, we urge all parents and guardians to be on alert and teach their children on how to determine the motives of who is around them, and the district commissioner told the news. Now, the children are taken from their homes at night when their parents were selling food at a market. Now, I have a picture of one albino girl who was also caught, and then her hands amputated. And you look at all that and you ask yourself, oh gosh, oh God, so what exactly is happening? Do we still, in this day and age, believe in all this witchcraftism and stuff like that? My goodness. Well, we'll look at that in a different case. But we still go on. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Like I said earlier on, the Cameroon opposition leader has been arrested. Now, finally, Zimbabwe's President Mnangagwa appalled by attack on protesters. Now, he says that Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa has said he is appalled by an attack by security officials on a protester that was featured on a TV news report. His statement comes after widespread criticism of the way security forces have handled recent protests. Mr. Mnangagwa said he has ordered the arrest of those behind the attack, seen in a Sky News report. His condemnation has received a mixed reaction, with some calling him uninformed. The state-funded Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission has accused soldiers of using systematic torture in the crackdown on protests. It has strongly criticized the authorities for using troops to quell demonstrations. There have also been reports of a number of deaths. The report by Sky News shows a handcuffed man being pulled away from a van by a soldier, and at least one police officer. He is then being repeatedly beaten around the head by one of the officials. President Mnangagwa said on Twitter that this was not the Zimbabwe way. Really? So what is the Zimbabwean way? Will the president rise up? Will the president make a statement? Will the president call the arrest of all the military people who have been found in perpetrating this act and put them on trial? That is another question for another day, a friend will say. But it's now gone 22 minutes to 1 exactly. In the next 15 minutes, I'll be bringing the program to a close. But a nice ushering to the next stage of the program will be nice, and I'll usher you there with a song by Lord Kenya, and I'll tell you why I'm bringing that song on.
Lord Kenya, where they go, senior, see, so magnetic, baby, but you mean me, won't you? See, come for Faneo, magnetic, baby, but you mean me, won't you? See, come for Faneo.
Okay, so what happened? Well, it's Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The time now is 12:41 from the House of London. Oh, yeah. The security analyst Adam Bonner has described as worrying Canadian Japan's 100,000 Ghana cedis bounty for information that will lead to the arrest of the killers of undercover journalist Ahmed Hussein Suale. The Assistant Central Lawmaker, who has been accused by the public as responsible for the assassination of Hussein Suale, in a bid to clear his name, announced the bounty on Monday. And that's why I play the song. Sikampom Fanuho, Sikampom Fanuho. They are saying that all your money, Abi. Hussein Suale, who worked closely with ACE investigative journalist Anas Mariawanas to expose rotting Ghana football in an investigative masterpiece dubbed #12, was killed on Wednesday, January 16, by unknown gunmen whilst he drove home. He was shot 3 times, twice in the chest, another in the neck, dying instantly, according to the police. It comes months after the Assistant Central Lawmaker splashed his pictures on TV calling for retribution over his role in football corruption probe. But speaking on his Net2 TV, the Maverick lawmaker said it is a human being that has died. No matter the mistake he has made, he has a right to live. He said, what I want to do is anyone who can give information to assist in the arrest of the suspect will receive 100,000 Ghana cedis from me because it is my reputation on the line. Now, Bonner, however, rejected the gesture, arguing that Japan is morally unfit to place a bounty on the killers of Hussein Suale when he is the prime suspect in the murder. There is everything wrong with the Honorable MP's gesture, if you know what I'm talking about. First of all, he is a key suspect in the whole investigations, and so if you are a key suspect, you are a person of interest to probably the police, CID, and the security agencies, Bonner said. So although he has put a bounty on the head of the individual who might have perpetrated the act, or the individuals who might have perpetrated this act. Now, some people are saying that, look, no matter what you do, Charlie, you were calling for the guy to be beaten, and lo and behold, some people took it to the extreme. So why wouldn't we blame you for that? 12:44 is the time. Starr Radio UK, the station, the morning show, the program. Well, will the Prime Minister meet her at Waterloo today? Kwame is of the view that, well, whatever the situation is, and all those scenarios should still remain on the negotiating table. So he is not in favor of the position of the Labour leader. What do you think about that? The Electoral Commission boss has said something. And it's all pertaining to money. As she says, the chairperson of the Ghana Electoral Commission, Jane Mensah, has decried the high cost of conducting elections in the country. So what is she going to do? Ms. Mensah, who was speaking at the 17th International Electoral Affairs Symposium, advocated that measures must be put in place that minimizes cost of conducting elections in Ghana. According to her, the cost of a 2016 election was over $12 per voter. $12 per voter. compared to $9 in Nigeria and $5 in Tanzania in 2015. So what are we doing different that is making our cost per head very high? According to her, the cost of the 2016 election was over $12. Now she added that the tendency of depending on developing partners to partly fund the cost of elections in Ghana compromises the independence of the elections, of course, which I agree with her. Now our elections are fast becoming very expensive ventures, and we constantly rely on our development partners to partly fund our elections, thereby compromising our independence. That is why you have these bodies or organizations, development partners coming in to say that, hey, we think that this is the person who won, or we think you have to call the shot this way. I remember some time back when we were having a discussion on this platform, and there was an issue, and I remember Brett Yoba coming in to say that now if you happen to go after getting married to your wife, and instead of coughing up your what do you call it, let me put it that way in the Ghanaian parlance, your chop money, you decide to go to your in-laws house and go and say, Aso, I'm here, can you give me some food so that I go and fend? Or you bring your wife there to come and eat all the time because you cannot afford to take care of your wife. He then went on further to say that then what is going to happen is that your in-laws are going to determine what time you have an affair with your wife. And of course, that's exactly what Jane Mensah is saying. Now, if we continue to rely on development partners to be funding our elections due to the fact that the cost is too high, then they will call the shots. And when they call the shots, you have to dance to the tune. But if we don't want to do that, then what are we going to do? What are we going to do to resolve this issue? How do we reduce the cost per election per head? Her comments come after the former executive director of the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, the CDD Ghana in August last year, challenged the new Electoral Commission's leadership to reduce the cost per vote for the country. Now, Professor Emmanuel Jima Buedi noted that of unjustifiably high per voter cost of Ghana's general election, pegged at $12.03 per voter in 2016 was expensive. She said, I dare say that at this price, one day it may literally be impossible for Ghana to hold elections. He said he believes the cost per voter is one of the obstacles to inclusive democratic representation within the election management body itself. Time now 12:49 from the House of London. Meaning I'll be bringing the program to a close in a jiffy. Okay, so this is Starr Radio UK. Kampong fan money for tech himself, Abi. Now a lawyer has slammed police for dropping woman beater case. And then in other stories, 4 persons have been brought before court forcing students to eat raw chicken. What the heck is happening in this country? Oh my world. What is in this country? I'm talking about Ghana here. Let me bring you the first story. Now it talks about 4 persons, including a community police, have been arraigned before a court in the Ashanti region for forcing some students of the Akumadan Senior High School to eat raw fowl they stole. According to the Ashanti Regional Police, Godwin Anyanyo, that's the PRO, the 4 were picked up after a journalist in the region sent the footage of the incident to the police. We instructed the Akumadan district commander to follow up on the issue, and 4 of them have been arrested and put before court. ASP Ahianyo told the AM show. Now can you just imagine raw chicken? Ew. How they say. Another case that I was talking about earlier on. You remember sometime last year when a police officer decided to wrestle a lady in one of these mini banks. I don't know whether the bank is still surviving though, or it's been one of the banks that have been shut down. The lawyer for the woman assaulted by a police officer has disputed claims that the victim was unavailable to help in the prosecution. The accused Frederick Amano Scala was discharged by the court for what has been described as a want of prosecution. So you guys are not coming to court. So I mean, you are wasting court's time, man. According to report, the victim has been unavailable to help the police investigation and also appear in court to testify, hence making the prosecution of the case difficult. However, in a strongly worded response, private legal practitioner Samson Ladi Anyenini, who helped the victim pursue a civil case against the savings and loans company where the assault occurred, has refuted the argument of the police. The explanation, according to the lawyer, has suggested that the police are up to mischief. But before I go, I have a caller. I know I have got my brother Kwame. Maybe he has to say something about it. Let's go and let's hear him. Kwame.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
You know, the people are talking about the cost of election.
Yes. Yes.
You see, sometimes the people talking are sometimes the people to be blamed.
Okay. Why?
Because one of the things that can reduce the cost of election is system integrity.
Okay.
You see, if like here, every borough know the number of people who are eligible to vote, and provision is made for them year in and year out. If you register today, they will add that list.
Yeah.
Why don't we have the same thing, whereby in every region, in every constituency, you know the number of voters there already?
Yeah.
If the people themselves want to have system integrity, we can have it. Now it is not rocket science again. Is it?
Yeah.
But the very people who benefit from the chaos are the people at the top.
Okay.
It's not the common person.
Okay.
If one computer, just one computer or one hard drive can save us a whole lot of money, why would they go and buy 4x4s and not do that one? Get the database for these things. To me, it's things that kids are doing in their bedrooms today. Sometimes they shouldn't even tell us. We don't want to know because it's initiating. It's annoying. They should keep it to themselves. Because you can't count 1, 2, 3 to 1 million and tell us that people around the area who are eligible to vote is 1 million.
Yeah.
And we can all attest to that.
Yeah.
And keep that on the computer somewhere and link it up to the other computers. We always have to be going back, something that is supposed to be very basic.
Yeah.
Human existence. Then we spending money on it, doing it again, bringing confusion and everything. Maybe without that, they don't have a job, so they keep creating the confusion. We should continue.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I think we might have to have a look at ways and means to reduce the cost. Maybe through our discussions, subsequent discussions that we'll be having, we might have to. How do we create that confidence in the electoral body to make it more transparent, and people, I mean, whatever decision or whatever outcome of an election, people just take it and say, yes, this is gospel, that is right.
Yeah, but actually, when you look at this country, you don't even know who the electoral commissioner is.
Of course, I've never known him. I don't even know anything.
Because the integrity of the system is so good that you don't need to know who is behind it. You see, when the system is not good, that's where the person controlling it come into play. So when you create a system with integrity, you don't need to know who is behind it. The system just operates on autopilot.
Yeah. Whew. Well.
It's initiated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother Kwame. Have a blessed day. Okay, listeners, Kwame was of the view that the cost per head when it comes to election that people are calling for it to be reduced. He said those who are advocating for it, they are the same people who are there wrangling things and ruffling things for them to have some businesses and have some money from that. What do you think about it? Unfortunately, my time is over now. I need to make way for the next important program. That is the Caribbean Focus program. I'll be coming your way in the next 2 minutes. That is from 1 to exactly 3 o'clock. So, I will say thank you very much for tuning in to listen to me today on Starr Radio UK. But remember, tomorrow I'll be coming in with another edition of the morning show. It will be the Wednesday edition. And we'll be bringing you the outcome of the voting that took place in the House of Parliament. Are we Brexiting? Are we remaining? Are we going without a deal or no deal? That and a lot more we'll be having a look at. But don't go away. It is Starr Radio UK. It's been me, the one and only Archie. And I say, have a top of the day. Bye-bye for now.
I'm on phone say, Binyaka Mefrebi, so Shanamo Agogia, or